This is the scoreboard part? Okay.
So,
Yeah.
anything. And then if you get messed up, you can really just keep an eye on that scoreboard.
Yeah.
It does a good job. But this is just a huge help to those who are watching. Cause
Yeah, obviously.
So, just basic stuff. If they call a strike, just put a strike on there.
Okay.
If you get mixed up, though, like in the runs or hits column, you can just press this like you would like on Microsoft Word or something, and just like
edit it.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
But so you can just go back to that right there. And is there any questions you have?
No. I guess not.
You ready?
Yeah.
I will say try to kind of speak louder.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason this isn't picking up real well.
Yeah.
So even when we crank it all the way up,
Right.
it still sounds really quiet.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed my phone was on full volume this
Yeah.
morning watching the other one. I could barely hear it.
Yeah, it's a little better if you're on TV or something, but
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, why it's not picking up very well. But anyway, I'm gonna pray for us and then we can get going. Oh, let's check this real quick.
Okay.
Mine's really loud. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. How's that for you?
That's good. I can hear him. Mine's a little loud.
Okay. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah, watch the wind. That's usually our biggest enemy up here.
Yeah.
Check 1 2. How's this? Is this pretty good for you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
2 balls, 1 strike. Is that too loud?
No, I don't think so.
All right. This is about the volume we'll try to talk at
Okay.
throughout the game. It can be easy when you're in the 4th inning and things aren't happening to
Right.
kind of get down here and talk like this. But because it's so hard to hear, we just got to make sure we're
Yeah. Talk
talking
about it the
loud.
whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
check 1 2. All right, I'm going to pray and then we'll get going.
Okay.
Father God, thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to do this with Drew. Lord, I pray that you would just help us up here, glorify you in all that we do and say. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so I wrote down the lineups over on this side.
Okay.
If you need to glance at that, you can.
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and open up so you can unmute us. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Grayson Whaley alongside a newbie up here, Drew Rogers. He's getting his feet wet in the baseball booth up here. Drew, you excited?
Of course, man. Always excited to watch a Bryan sporting event.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the number 16 team in the nation, Bryan College, versus Kentucky Christian, who is 3-14 in conference, 13-19 overall. Your Lions 21-10 overall, 12-3 in conference. We're just a few moments away from the opening prayer and national anthem, so just be prepared if we have to pause for that. But I'm going to go ahead and quickly run through both of these lineups real quick. First for Kentucky Christian, 1 through 9, Thomas and Garcia, Rivera, Juniper, Hollab, Waltz, Sorensen, Legg, Bevan, and pitching for them is Gowd. For the Lions, Cosby, Ogg, Lofton, Cooper, Prince Jr., Dryden, Naparowski, Marquez, Cahoon, and on the mound for them is Tanner Moylan. We're going to pause. After that rendition of the national anthem, we're a few warm-up pitches away from watching Tanner Moylan do his thing up on the bump for the Lions. Drew Moylan has been incredible this season, but the last couple outings he has struggled a little bit. And so today will be a good opportunity for him to get rolling against a 3-14 in conference Kentucky Christian.
Yeah, maybe a little tune-up game before the conference tournament starts. I think this would be a great confidence booster for him.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a 9-inning game here tonight. But with Moylan working, he works with so much tempo and pace that it'll feel like a 7-inning game. He'd be Rob Manfred's best friend if you're familiar with the new pitch clock rules in Major League Baseball. Moylan would fit right in for that, and you'll get to see that here today, Drew.
Yeah, you definitely will. I don't think we have a pitch clock out here, but he definitely controls the game in his own way.
He absolutely does. The Lions have pretty much been firing on all cylinders this season. They're 21-10, 12-3 in conference. They have a number 16 next to their name in the country, and they've, truly impressed all season long. And they'll have a chance this weekend to take care of a Kentucky Christian team who has struggled pretty much all season. So left to right for your infield is going to be Lofton at third, Marquez at short, Cahoon at second, and Bass Cooper over there at first. Behind the dish, Parker Cosby. Left to right, and the outfield is Bradley Prince Jr., Daniel Dryden, and Devin Ogg. Kentucky Christian, although they have struggled some this year, they have a few bright spots in this lineup, and it's hard not to mention guys like Jan Rivera and Evan Juniper, and we'll get to see them showcase those guys here in just the first part of this order. So just a couple warm-up pitches away, and we'll be off and running here at center field in beautiful and apparently windy Dayton, Tennessee. It'll be Cole Thomason leading it off for Kentucky Christian. Moylan rocks and fires. First pitch swung at and missed. Strike one. The 0-1 pitch from Moylan dotted up on the outside corner. Strike two. You see, Drew, he doesn't take much time up there in between pitches.
No, he does not. He really, really wants to get his stuff out and get its own plate.
That one misses wide. The count is 1-2 now. This one lifted into fairly deep left center field. And Bradley Prince is over there and catches it for round number one. Christian Garcia at the plate for Kentucky Christian. Garcia hitting .341 on the year, has 10 RBIs. That's 31 hits on 91 at bats, and just a freshman. So he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Definitely not bad numbers for a freshman at all.
No balls and a strike. Moylan working quickly. Paints that one like Picasso on the outside corner. Garcia digs back in. Moylan the windup, breaking ball. This was shot right up the middle for the first hit of the game for Kentucky Christian. And no balls and two strikes there, Drew. I would have liked to have seen Moylan kind of extend the zone a little bit.
Absolutely. Maybe try to paint the corner a little bit, get him to reach on one, but he goes to the inside, and that looked to be right up his wheelhouse.
So Garcia will be at first. Brings up Jan Rivera. Rivera, one of the more dangerous hitters on this team, hitting .395 on the season, and he started all 32 games. 0-1 to Rivera. Beautiful pitch there from Moylan.
And here's where you were talking about extending the zone. You might see a little outside try to throw him off his game here.
Way outside, a back pick over there to try to get Garcia. Not in time. Yeah, good call. That fastball on the outside corner that probably was a little bit more further out than he wanted it. Might set up a breaking ball or changeup down low. Looks like he went to the changeup, just went a little bit too far arm side there. 1 comes set. The 2-2 pitch. This one laced up the middle. Cahoon. Beautiful catch out there. And that'll keep Garcia at first. 2 down.
It's a well-hit ball, but unfortunately it went straight to the second baseman.
Yeah, that's 2 barrels with 2 strikes from KCU. Of course, one was caught there from Cahoon. One going to be looking to find that put-away pitch as this game continues. Evan Juniper at the plate for the Knights of KCU. Juniper hitting .291 in the season, a power threat with 8 jacks, 38 RBIs. Checking on Garcia. Count is 0-1. One comes set. Here's the 0-1 offering. Ooh, beautiful breaking ball.
Kind of froze him in his shoes there. I don't think he knew it hit him until the ball was in the catcher's mitt.
The 0-2 pitch. Blows it by him, has him waving at it for strike 3. So KCU gets 1 hit, but nothing to show for it to score. 0-0 as we head into the bottom half of the first. We'll be back. One thing you can always do is when someone comes up, is you can name off a stat. Like I can let you do that. That way it kind of feels more organic for you. Like it gives you something to talk about. And then when you do that, what I'll do is so now that I've mentioned Rivera's batting average and that he's played in 32 games, so I'll underline it. So for Juniper, I mentioned that he's hit .291, has 8 jacks and 38 RBIs. That way I know that I've already said that. And I said for Garcia as well, I said he's hitting .341 on the year. So that way you know that it's already been talked about. But anything else is up to free game. If someone gets on base like Garcia, he has 7 stolen bases. Like you can say, this guy's a base running threat. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take off here in this at bat. Something like that. Stats can really help you feel more natural. You know what I mean?
Do I need to hit this, or do I need? Is this top? Or
Yes, hit that. So now go to the bottom house. And here's another thing too. It's live stream, so I don't have to go absolutely play for play every time. You know what I mean? So if there's something you want to just you're seeing out there, I don't care if it's there's pollen in the air. You know what I mean? Because they can see it. They enjoy conversation. People enjoy conversation up here. Of course, we'll always.
Right.
It's always around the game, but I don't have to say exactly everything that's happening because they can't see it. You know what I mean? If it was radio, it'd be different. But
do I need to turn that on? Or
Yep.
no? I don't know.
We're back for the bottom half. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 for the Lions. That's Cosby, Ogg, and Lofton.
Cosby,
Go ahead.
Cosby comes into this game with a .371 batting average. That's pretty impressive. Definitely a threat to get on base at any time.
Yeah, not only is he hitting .371 in the year, he's got a .538 on base percentage. That means he's getting on base over 50% of the time. So he is not an easy out to say the least. Sam Gowd on the bump for Kentucky Christian, sporting just over a 5 ERA. But he'll be their ace, the senior right-handed pitcher. We'll try to get them this game 1 victory here on a cloudy Saturday afternoon or Friday afternoon. Good slider in there for strike 2. Aiden Bevan behind the dish. This one's laced right up the middle off the glove Wow, what a beautiful play there from shortstop Jan Rivera. It went off the glove of Sam Gowd, and Rivera hung with it and fired it over there to first for out number 1.
You would think if that ball maybe didn't hit off the glove of Gowd that might have got up the gap, but unfortunately it takes an unlucky bounce.
Yeah, unlucky bounce for Bryan, of course. A nice bounce for KCU. Devin Ogg at the dish now for the Lions. Gowd comes set. He's one of these new age pitchers that just works from the stretch instead of winding it up. You'll see Moylan with no one on base, he'll still use that traditional wind up. A lot of these guys more recently have just kind of gone to the stretch, no matter if people are on base or not.
Rivera makes the second out there. He's got both of them in the inning for KCU.
Yeah, and that one another one that wasn't easy to make.
No.
That was hit hard there from Devin Ogg.
Stepping into the box is Bryson Lofton. I mean, doesn't really need any introduction. 474 average, 14 home runs, leads the lead, tied for the lead in batting average and second in home runs.
Yeah, he has had an incredible season. We were up here just a few days ago for his 4 home run night performance. This one's hit hard to center field. It's drifting away from the center fielder, and he has a glove on it, but it cannot be made out there. So a 2-out double for Bryson Lofton, and he stays hot here in the bottom of the first.
You got to think that the guy on the mound for KCU is not going to be enjoying having to go against him all day if he remains out there.
No, he's a nightmare for pitchers of the opposing team. And I thought Cole Thomason out there in center field was going to track that down. He had a great beat on it, Drew.
He did. It just, unfortunately for KCU, it's off the glove, but fortunately for Bryan, it gets down, puts a runner in scoring position.
Bass Cooper, the switch hitting slugger here from the left side against right-handed pitcher Sam Gowd. Strike called in the outside corner.
Cooper definitely one of those guys that you see a lot in the majors. Definitely a power hitter that sacrifices his average to swing for the fences.
Yeah, that is the truth, Drew. He, of course, I've seen him over the last couple of years, and that average is usually a few ticks higher than it is this year. He's struggled a little bit from this left side, which is not typical from him. And of course, you see more right-handed pitchers than you do lefties, so he's not had the chance to really boost that average from the right side. Count is square here, a ball and a strike apiece, 2 down. Bryson Lofton in scoring position. This one's dribbled to the second baseman. Good play over there for out number 3. That's Garcia to Juniper. So nothing going for the Lions. The score still tied, 0-0, heading into the second. We'll be back. Did you mute it? And now you can. You don't have to do this, but there's also.
Or we can put a little.
I grew up dreaming of broadcasting sports, so like any sport was on TV, like I was, being stupid. And there was a time I was in high school and I was at a Vanderbilt, Florida game, and I didn't have a dog in the fight. I'm a Tennessee fan, so I sat there on my phone and just commentated the whole game.
Nice.
Like just recorded it.
Yeah. I'm the guy that sits in their room and plays video games. Sports video games and talks, acts like mutes the actual commentator so he can talk over it while his video game players
I've done that several times.
do stuff.
Let's see, it'd be Cody Holub. Cody Holub going to lead things off for KCU. It'll be 5-6-7 for the Knights.
And Holub definitely doesn't blow anybody away on the stat sheet, but a solid hitter and a valuable contributor to this KCU squad.
The 0-1 fastball gets away from Moreland just a tad. Evens the count up 1-1. Moreland rocks and fires. And had Holub tied up a little bit there, but he checks the swing, doesn't go around. And they go ahead and check with that field umpire just for good measure. 2 balls and a strike to Holub. Here's the pitch. Big swing, comes up empty.
And that was one that Holub thought he was taking probably to center field. And that ball got right away from him.
Count back to square. 2-2 as that one misses low. And now it's all full.
And in a full count, Grayson, what pitch do you go to here?
I'm going with fastball, and that's what he did, but it's laced out to right field. So a good 2-out or 2-strike single there for Cody Holub. Gets the things rolling here in the top of the second for the Knights. I would have hated there if Moylan kind of worked on the inside corner.
Yeah.
It's he's got a live enough fastball there in the low 80s, and it looked like Holub was kind of expecting it to be out over the plate, and that's what happened there. This one misses low. This is number 14, Noah Waltz. He's the designated hitter in today's game.
Pretty solid batting average at .311 for him. He does a pretty good job when he's afforded the DH spot.
That one just misses the corner. Cosby tries to steal a strike there.
And going back to that last batter, I think you're right. Holub, he even looked uncomfortable, the 2 pitches that Moylan gave him on the inside. So I think you're right, an inside, but nonetheless, he move on to the next batter.
Yeah, if you're a pitcher, and of course I've known this for a large part of my life, is got to have a short memory. The 2-0 pitch blows it by Waltz there for strike 1.
And with the 2-0 count, Moylan goes straight up the middle, goes right at him, pretty much daring him to hit it.
The count matches the hit column, 2-1. This one hit high into the afternoon sky in center field. Dryden catches it for out number 1. So a big first out there for the Lions. And now a ground ball could get him out of the inning with a double play. They'll have to get by 7-hole hitter number 27 playing left field today for the Knights, Tucker Sorensen. Sorensen right at that oh-so-coveted 300 mark on the year, Drew. It's always a good spot to be if you're a hitter.
Right, and you referenced the double play. Anybody batting 300 is not likely going to hit, but we'll see if Lions can pull it out here.
That one's chopped foul. The count is now 0-2. Pretty conservative lead over there at first.
Yeah, definitely not looking to take a base, playing it safe, maybe just trying to advance the runner here.
Yeah, it's definitely harder to steal as well when you have a lefty and Moylan on the bump. Checks on him once again, keeping him honest over there. The temperature dropping just a little bit here in Dayton, Tennessee as the sun goes down. This one chopped foul as well.
Yeah, we've had pretty bad weather all day. Been cloudy. we've had drizzle, rain, and I kept checking the forecast, thinking that this one might get pushed back, but luckily it's kind of gone all around us here.
This one chopped to Cooper. He's just going to step on his bag for the second out. Didn't think he had a chance at 2 there.
It's a hard play to make. Balls hit slow up the first base line. Pretty smart play there by Cooper.
That gives the Lions 2 outs. Justin Legg, who's playing right field for the Knights today, will be at the dish.
And Legg, a good hitter, too. He comes in with a .316 batting average and 13 RBIs batted in. Let's see if he can add one more.
This one hit into shallow center field. Dryden under it and catches it for the third out, so nothing rolling for the Knights in the second inning as well. The score still knotted at 0.
So do they have 2 games tomorrow? Is that it? So it's a 3-game series?
Yeah. Every conference series is a 3-game.
Okay, so they don't. So we won't go to KCU. We just play here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think there's some. Actually, I don't think there's any that double up. You go ahead and make video there. You don't have to, yeah. Hey, have you noticed how quiet it is on the live stream? Like, I don't know what to do about it. I mean, we have it cranked all the way up. I don't know if it is today. I don't know. But even the last 2 weekends, we've had it like all the way up, and it still was quiet. I don't know why. Oh my goodness. Bradley Prince Jr. leading it off for the Lions in the bottom of the second inning. Fastball outside corner. Good enough for strike 1.
Prince comes in a pretty dangerous hitter game to game for opposing pitchers to face at .278 and 5 home runs.
The 0-1 pitch right up the middle to Rivera at short. Over to first for out number 1.
Rivera seems to have a magnet in his glove because pretty much every single out has gone through him for KCU.
Daniel Dryden at the plate now for the Lions. And I say this so often, but he got off to an incredible start this season. Has cooled off just a little bit, but still hitting .282 on the year with 8 jacks. Big swing right to the third baseman. So the 5-3 put out, that's Holub to Juniper for the second out of the inning.
Had a little trouble with the catch. Just that ball was hit so hard up the third base line, but fielded in time and delivered it to the first baseman.
No pictures on the scoreboard, are there? Doesn't matter what it looks like as long as they put another number up there.
That's true.
Designated hitter Owen Naparowski at the dish. Originally from Canada. Transfer from LSU Shreveport, another NAIA program. They've had a lot of success, but we're glad to have him here in Dayton.
Absolutely. He gives another weapon at the DH spot. No, he's originally a catcher, but he's done really well in the opportunities afforded here this year.
Yeah, weather permitting, I would not be surprised, as usual, if Owen Naparowski catches one of the doubleheader games tomorrow. That's pretty typical. They'll split those doubleheaders up between Cosby and Naparowski. Something, a good problem to have for the coaching staff is they've been trying to decide, who do we go with at the DH when Cosby is behind the dish, Naparowski or Kiko Garcia, who's had a hot bat here recently. And like I said, it's always a good problem to have when you have too many good guys to play.
That's true. You'd definitely rather have too much talent than not enough.
That's right. Deuce is wild on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the second inning. Gowd comes set. Here's the pitch. This one hit to fairly deep left field, but it's going to be right to Sorensen out there for out number 3. So again, nothing rolling for the offense of the Lions. The score still 0-all. We'll be back. Does that help? You got me to know. Here for KCU is going to be number 20, Aiden Bevan. It's going to be 9-1-2 for them. Moylan the 0-0 pitch. This one misses apparently. The 1-0 pitch to Bevan. This one's rolled down the third base line. They're going to say it's fair. Bevan on his horse going to try for 2. The throw from left field, not in time. So a leadoff double there from the 9-hole hitter, Aiden Bevan. That'll get the Knights rolling here in the top of the third.
Definitely not where you expect your leadoff double to come from the 9-hole, but he put a great one up the line. I think they'll get a pinch runner in for him.
Yeah, they'll get a courtesy runner because Bevan is behind the dish in this game. The luxury of NAIA baseball. So runner in scoring position. No outs for Thomason. Moylan comes set. Going to try to get out of this with no damage done. And that'll be a task with nobody out. If the weather holds off enough here tonight, Drew, then tomorrow is going to be a great day for baseball. It's going to get around 75 degrees. Beautiful bunt there from Thomason. Moves the runner to third, but they get the out at first.
Absolutely, Grayson. I think anytime you can play baseball in sunny conditions without the threat of rain, you're loving it.
Yeah, I've gotten word that thunderstorms are supposed to roll in throughout the night hours and even into the early morning hours. So hopefully we'll be able to squeeze these 2 games in tomorrow. Some threat here for the Lions. A runner at third, only 1 down. And it's going to be Christian Garcia at the plate. He's one of the better hitters on this team.
He's definitely got a knack for driving in RBIs. He doesn't have any home runs, but he does have 10 RBIs, and you'd think that he'd try to add number 11 right here.
This is definitely the ballpark to do it in. It's a hitter-friendly ballpark. Pitcher's nightmare to pitch here, and I've gotten the opportunity to do it over the past 4 years. And it's come back to bite me several times.
Yeah, I've heard opposing players and our players refer to this place as a launching pad. Yeah. So you see a lot get out here.
The 1-1 pitch, big swing there. Comes up empty. Beautiful change up there from Tanner Moylan.
And Moylan maybe using his aggressiveness against him there, trying to drive in the run so hard, gets him really outside.
1-2 pitch. This one is just sorted into right field. That's going to score a run. And that'll put Garcia over there at first. So both of his at-bats have turned into hits. And the Knights strike first. The score 1-0.
That was the perfect hit right over the second baseman and right in front of the right fielder.
This one gets by Rivera. Moylan would like a ground ball here to try for 2. This one's going to be hit hard into center field, but caught out there by Daniel Dryden. I thought it had a little bit more juice on it than it actually did.
It appeared to when it left his bat. I thought, oh boy, we might have one at the warning track, but kind of stopped short.
Might have gotten off the end of the bat just a little bit. So dangerous hitter Evan Juniper up at the plate for KCU. With Speedy Garcia over there at first, a ball in the gap could score him from first. Of course, with 2 down, the outfield playing in no doubles. Depth. Infield pretty much straight up. Two quick strikes on Juniper.
And Moylan looks to get out of the inning here, only giving up 1 run. Definitely not ideal, but definitely not the end of the world.
No, I would hope that the Lions can score more than 1 today.
Yeah.
Garcia takes off the outside, breaking ball, and they're going to bang him out at second. I thought Garcia might have beaten the throw, but the field umpire says, no, sir. The throw out for out number 3, but not before KCU strikes first to score. 1-0. We'll be back.
That was a great play.
That was a great play.
He leads them in stolen bases.
Elijah, walk over here. Huh? Thank you.
You got it muted.
I thought I did.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. One time we were over here doing this, and Noah brought his thing up to the mic, which this didn't pick it up, that did. And he said, I'm Noah. Ah. And I said, I'm glad the microphone wasn't on for that. And it literally picked it up.
That's funny. I wasn't there, but I saw your song.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man. I would say that's probably the most successful event since I've been here, just by everybody's reaction.
It'll be 8-9-1 for the Lions of Bryan College. Drew, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, how the interest in kind of getting in here in the booth with me today.
Well, I've been a sports fan all my life, and I've been drawn to the broadcasting side of it since I could talk. I enjoy speaking about sports, even sports I may not know the most about, this one included. But yeah, it's just always been a passion of mine. So
you might could have fooled the viewers a little bit if you didn't admit to not being the baseball guy here at campus.
Well, I did some research before we hopped on, and maybe made myself seem a little bit smarter than I am. So
yeah, basketball player through a couple years here at Bryan, and he had the chance to do a couple games with me for basketball this year, so that was a lot of fun. So getting you out of your comfort zone a little bit here, Drew.
Definitely. Basketball is a totally different experience than this one. Fast-paced, always moving, but I mean, this one so far has been pretty fun, good action, and I mean, this is an awesome Bryan Lions baseball team. So
yeah, one of the better Lions teams since I've been here, and this is my 4th year here on the Hill. Of course, 21-10 through 31 games, 12-3 in conference, and number 16 in the nation. So nothing to look down on there.
Absolutely not. And we'll see if they can catch back up here. I mean, only a 1-run deficit, so shouldn't be too big a deal.
Yeah, the Lions have a lot of time to catch up, but usually when they work through the order once, they like to have something on the board. Of course, this is going to be the 9-hole hitter, Cade Cahoon.
Great hit.
This one right up the middle. Beautiful hit there from Cahoon. That'll have the Lions rolling in the bottom of the third.
And that's exactly the hit you want when you roll back up to the top of your lineup. You roll back up to your main guys, your power hitters, and good job there in the 9-hole.
Absolutely. Flip the lineup over. And now a really good part of the lineup, as you mentioned, is up. Starting with Parker Cosby.
And like we talked about before, Cosby and Naparowski have shared time, and Cosby's been just as good as he has, if not better.
Yeah, he's a really good defensive catcher, but you could really list him as a utility guy if you're familiar with Major League Baseball. For those who are watching, like a Brock Holt kind of guy, except that Cosby also catches. You'll find him tomorrow probably at some point, maybe playing second base or third. He's just one of those guys you can put anywhere and trust him in pretty much any position.
Absolutely. I think that's a big difference in this year's team and the last is that you can kind of feel the air of experience is
absolutely.
weighing heavily.
Yeah, you have guys in the lineup like Devin Ogg, Bradley Prince Jr., Danny Marquez, Cade Cahoon, all those guys really not completely unfamiliar with playing time, but not experienced starters, that's for sure. And now to have those guys with a year under their belt, I think you're right. I think it's made quite the difference this year. 2 balls and a strike here against Cosby. 1 down to the bottom of the third. And check on Cahoon. Good pickoff move, keeping him honest over there at first.
Every great professional sports team goes through what you refer to as a growing pains time, and I think that might have been last year for the Lions as they've shaken that off.
You know what's interesting though is they made it to the opening round final.
Right.
I mean they had like I think a 30-28 record at the end of the year, but they got hot at the right time, leaning on some of that senior leadership. Anthony Tejada comes to mind. He pitched his tail off at the end of the year, and they made a nice little run there at the end. But of course the taste is still on the lips of the Lions, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Looks like Parker Cosby will take a base there.
Yeah, he'll get the free pass with the base on balls, as Drew just mentioned. And, of course, that will improve his already impressive on-base percentage. Devin Ogg will be at the dish now for the Lions. He has been hot here recently, Drew.
Yeah, man. Ogg is one of those guys that you mentioned last year didn't play, came in and played a lot, but this year, I mean, his bat has been really going. 315 average, 7 home runs, 17 RBIs. And right now, if you're this pitcher with somebody on second and first and Ogg steps up to the plate, I don't know if you're feeling too confident.
Yeah, and Devin Ogg is one of those guys, too. I just can't say enough about it. He's a great teammate, great guy to be in that dugout with. And he's got 7 jacks on 73 at-bats. I've talked about this several times over the past couple of weeks. Compared to some of these other large home run hitting guys like Lofton and Dryden and Cooper, he has considerably less at-bats on the year. So for him to have 7 jacks and 73 at-bats, pretty good.
Absolutely. Looking great value for this Lions team in the 3-hole.
Yeah, he had a home run earlier this week against 5th-ranked Georgia Gwinnett, and that is a very pitcher-friendly ballpark. So it takes a beastly of a man to get one out there.
Yeah. And Ogg so far really showing how much of a smart player he is. He's taken 2 balls that have been pretty close to the strike zone.
Yeah, he's a very disciplined hitter. You'll see him a lot of times, Drew, just working these counts and drawing a walk. This one hit to the second baseman. They're going to flip it over to second. The 4-6-3. That equals 2. Double play for KCU. Gets them out of the inning. And what an unfortunate event for the Lions just when things appeared to be going their way. The score remains 1-0. Stay tuned. You're picking up. You're getting more comfortable.
Yeah. Well, I'm really learning the names. That's the big thing.
That is a big part of it. If you want to, want to, though, I always write these down in between innings. If you want to take a picture of it, or if you want to write it down, or whatever. That's it's a scratch through. So. Start pressing people who know the names of the other guys.
I love it. I know we get it all the time for road trips, so I don't eat it during season, but after season, I'm all about it.
So after Garcia's thrown out at second base to end the inning in the third, it'll be four-hole hitter rather, Evan Juniper at the plate.
We saw Juniper take at least half of an at bat last inning before the Rivera was thrown out.
Count quickly even here from Moylan, 1-1. Big swing. I think the changeup just dropped off the table last minute there.
Yeah, he's definitely looking to take every single pitch down past those sponsor signs in right field.
Yeah. The 1-2 pitch, that one misses low and outside.
And with a 1-2 count, kind of playing with the lead, what kind of pitch would you envision here?
I think I may go slider away, see if he chases at it. You go fastball low and it misses. The count all full. 3-2. This one chopped foul down the right field line.
And if you're Moylan here, you definitely don't want to get in the habit of giving up any runs or hits. You kind of want to pump the brakes on and just chalk last inning up as a bad inning.
Yeah, one run isn't going to kill you, and Moylan has been solid all year. Of course, just a couple weeks ago, that average was just over 1,
Yeah.
And now it's 3.15 on the year through 40 innings. He is pretty much the unanimous ace on this team.
I'll let you call him safe.
Yeah, they're saying that he did not go around, so Juniper will reach first with the base on balls. So a 3-man umpiring crew out here. It's always a blessing to have 3 guys out here.
Absolutely.
A lot of times you'll see just 2. So 3-man crew is always nice to have an extra set of eyes.
Now in the box is Holub, who I believe he had a single his first at bat.
Yeah, he shot one out there to right field.
And Holub is a very competent hitter. Maybe not the biggest power guy, but definitely one that moves the guys into scoring position often.
Yeah, he'll have a chance here with none down in the top of the 4th. It's moving quickly here, this game is. Top of the zone strike there.
Like you referenced earlier, Moylan has not disappointed on his speed at which he gets these pitches out.
No, he works with a lot of tempo. He comes set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Right to Marquez. Flips over to second. The 6, and they're just going to get one. Cahoon couldn't get a handle out of his glove. So they'll stick with getting that lead runner out at second, and one will be down. So a fielder's choice there for the Lions. And Hollable switch spots over there with Juniper. Big swing there from Noah Waltz. He was thinking home run, wasn't he?
He certainly turned on that back foot like he was trying to put it out of here.
Oh and 1. Outside corner called, strike 2. Waltz behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Although the Lions are behind, Moylan's pitched a pretty good game. He's gotten a lot of strikes and a lot of corner painters.
This one shot to Marquez. Will have another chance at the double play. The 6-4-3 called safe at first. So again, they only get that front half of the double play. And that'll bring up number 27, Tucker Sorensen.
And once again, KCU swaps swaps a runner at first. They're kind of playing laterally here.
2 down for KCU. That one misses high to Sorensen. The 1-0 pitch. This one watch there for strike 1. This one down low in the turf. Doesn't get away from Cosby, keeps the runner at first. The 2-1 pitch, this one laced down the left field line, but foul. So just a long strike there. Evens the count up 2-2 with 2 down. Moreland comes set. The 2-2 offering. The front door breaker fouled off by Sorensen.
There's not a ton of speed at first base, so you would think that you're probably not going to see any attempt at a stolen base here.
2-2 offering just off the end of the bat, foul. Staying alive at the plate.
He's hanging tough, and he's making Moreland get up and maybe throw some unnecessary pitches he wouldn't like to. Probably like to be out of this inning so already.
The 2-2 pitch once again. This one hit to Marquez. He gets 3 in a row, flips it over to Cahoon for out number 3. So nothing rolling there for KCU in the top of the 4th. We'll be back for the bottom half. Your score, 1-0, KCU leading.
Gosh, I think it just knows ever in that inning.
Dude, before you got here, this entire screen was just covered with pollen.
Are you serious?
Just from sitting here, like it'd come on that quick. I mean, my car is just like pretty much yellow right now. It's a mess.
It's weird that you don't like just see it float through the air as much as it lays thick on stuff.
I saw you pitch out here for a few minutes the other day.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't the 3rd inning.
What?
Hope it wasn't the 3rd inning you saw.
I watched that, and then so Nick was driving the car, and he stopped to say hi to somebody, and he told me the unfortunate news.
Yeah. 3rd inning was rough. 1st and 2nd inning were fine.
Yeah.
3rd inning, I just could not get outs, bro. It was awful.
It happens.
I did end my career though on a leadoff double.
That,
You see
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was fun. It'll be dangerous Bryson Lofton to lead it off here for the Lions.
And he's already got a hit today, looking to add another one to what almost feels like an inevitability every time he steps into the box.
It seems, yeah. Yeah, he's got a ball magnet in that bat that he uses. The 1-0 pitch turned on through the 4-hole, a leadoff single, so he's 2 for 2 on the day.
And ideally, you probably don't want him hitting leadoff every single time. But luckily for him, in the cleanup spot, right behind him is Bass Cooper, and he's going to look to drive him into scoring position.
Yeah, they'll be in double play depth. Often won't be much of a base running threat over there. Good backdoor pitch there. Called strike one. I'll say Sam Goud has done a tremendous job on the mound, giving up 3 hits through 3+ innings now, and he's worked through a dangerous Lions lineup. And he has looked solid all day so far.
I'd have to agree with that, Grayson. He is to keep the Lions at 0 so far here in the bottom of the 4th is a feat all its own.
Yes, he works through the heart of this lineup now. He'll have some challenge, but a good pitch lifted into the air and caught out there by second baseman Christian Garcia for out number 1.
And we referenced earlier in the broadcast, Goud came in with a little over a 5 ERA, but you wouldn't tell it from the way he's commanded these pitches in the first 3 1/3 inning here.
Well, those top 3 or 4 teams in the AAC, they'll make anybody's ERA shoot up. You think you got first, of course, Tennessee Wesleyan, number 2 team in the country. Of course, Bryan beat them earlier this year. Then it's us at 12-3,
right?
And then Point, and you just got some good teams there, and Reinhardt as well. This one bunted right in front of the pitcher, and he's going to be called out at first, but he moves the runner over into scoring position for Daniel Dryden.
And you referenced Tennessee Wesleyan, got a pretty important game against them coming up. I believe it's the last home game of the season. I mean, if you're the Lions, you don't want to be dropping any. You want all the momentum to go directly towards that game.
Yeah, absolutely. We have this series and then a series next weekend against Columbia International University, and then we'll have that midweek against Tennessee Wesleyan, and that'll be it. That'll be the final home broadcast. Senior Day will be there the last game, or after the last game of the CIU series, so not to get that confused, that last home game to be confused with senior night. They'll hold that, again, the last game of that doubleheader next Saturday.
And that was today been an uncharacteristic wild pitch through behind the batter, moving Lofton down to third base.
So anything through the infield will get a run for the Lions on the board. This one hit to the third baseman. This one's over to first for out number 3. So nothing to show on the scoreboard for the Lions. And the score remains 1-0, KCU leading through 4 complete innings. We'll be back.
The only reason I say that is when we hit commercials, it's blaring.
Blares it.
But when we're talking, they can't hardly hear us. So they got the volume on their TV turned all the way up to hear us. Then commercial just
kills them.
Probably just leave it. Probably don't play commercials just for that reason.
But you want me to turn it back up when we get on?
Yeah. You can go ahead and turn it up. I just didn't want you to play commercial with it all the way up like that. Honestly, crank it up more.
I think that's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was watching it this morning, or I was listening to it while I was doing something. I think I was doing homework. I mean, I kept hitting the volume up button. I was like, surely that is not the loudest my phone could go. I thought it kept getting turned down. The few games I've watched this year, this has not been the result. It's been more high scoring than this. Is it Aiden Bevan? Is he the one that's up?
What?
Is the 9 spot up for them?
Yeah, Bevan. B-E-V-A-N. It'll be number 31 leg starting it off.
Okay.
8-hole hitter.
Gotcha.
Leave it on there.
when you press it, just leave it on the screen.
We're back for the top of the fifth. And Tanner Moylan remains on the bump for the Lions. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Knights of KCU. This one chopped to Marquez at short. He's had the last four, and he'll put this one out over there at first to Bass Cooper.
Shortstops Garcia and Marquez are showing getting a lot of usage out of their gloves on this one. Both made at least 3 or 4 outs apiece.
So I'll bring it to the 9-hole hitter Aiden Bevan, who had a double his last trip to the plate. He'll like to go ahead and double up on the double.
Yeah, and Bevan, his numbers don't blow you away at all, and maybe he's looking for a performance to build on here.
The 0-1 pitch waved at for strike 2.
And this Kentucky Christian squad looks to be relatively young, playing 3 freshmen here today, leg being a red shirt. But
this one barreled out to center field. So the 0-2 single for Aiden Bevan. Again, that's the last thing you want when you have someone down, especially the 9-hole hitter 0-2. You'd like to extend that zone a little bit more and try to get him to swing at something, especially when you saw him swing at that changeup.
Absolutely. And Bevan not showing, not really playing to his numbers today. Playing a little bit better. Not playing like the freshman that he is.
This one outside corner, strike 1 to Cole Thomason. Thomason exemplified those wheels out there in center field earlier in today's game.
And he almost came down with that ball, but unfortunately it was just off his glove.
One's all across the top of the scoreboard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. And KCU leading 1-0.
And I'll tell you, Grayson, I think Moylan's breakneck pace might be a good thing because it is getting darker as we speak around all areas of this stadium.
The 1-2 pitch. Dribble to Lofton at third. They're going to try for the double play. The 5-4-3 double play gets the Lions out of the inning. What a defensive play there from Lofton to Cahoon to Cooper for the inning-ending double play. Keeps the score 1-0. We'll be back for more baseball here in Dayton, Tennessee.
What we want is for it to, but I mean, you can't do nothing right now, just leave it muted, but we want it to be just like hitting right there at the yellow.
Yeah. Just not getting there, huh?
I don't know why. Maybe this is helping. Look it up on YouTube. I don't have YouTube on my phone.
Wi-Fi's not doing me any favors.
Just look up Bryan Athletics. Or Bryan College Athletics. Here, we'll leave it here for a second.
Okay.
Someone texted you and said mic is on, but someone texted, I don't know who it was. I don't know, nothing's on.
It's my dad. Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing should be picking up.
Yeah.
Here, hold on a second. Oh, it is on.
Oh.
I don't know. That's happening.
We're back here for the bottom half of the fifth. Owen Naparowski at the plate. Strike one call to the inside corner. The Lions would love to get going. They're about halfway through this game and nothing on that scoreboard.
Testament to how good, pun intended, how good Sam Good has been here today, man. He's really been in control, and even when the Lions have gotten on base, he's managed to get out of it so far.
Tries to get the fastball by, and this one's dribbled over there to third base. Over to first for out number 1.
Another credit to KCU. Credit to both teams. They've been able to keep the errors off the scoreboard, and whenever you can do that, you give yourself a good chance of winning any baseball game.
Yeah, certainly. KCU has done everything to help themselves today. Out hitting the dangerous lines, no errors in the field. Marquez, big swing, comes up empty.
And Marquez, one of those guys that didn't see a whole lot of action last year and has kind of come on the scene and been an unsung hero for this Lions squad in the 8-hole.
Yeah, he has. The crazy thing, Drew, is he was right there at that 3-hole for the longest time. He struggled a little bit here the last few weeks, but back on track, hitting .293 on the season. 5 home runs, 21 RBIs. This one lifted to deep left field. That one's going to belly flop into the pond for the solo shot to tie it up for the Lions. Danny Marquez right on cue. Make that number 6 for the year.
We talked a lot about it being a launching pad. That one was launched to deep left field, and Marquez provides a very much needed spark here for the Lions.
That one's gone in any ballpark in the Appalachian Athletic Conference.
Absolutely.
And just what the doctor ordered, it's 1-1.
And now, if you're on the mound for KCU, you've got to collect yourself. You can't let one solo shot snowball into something worse here.
And that's going to happen. Cade Cahoon, back-to-back jacks for the Lions. Cade Cahoon with the answer.
No.
Don't blink, ladies and gentlemen. The Lions are rolling.
And that's not what you want to see if you're KCU. 2 solo shots back-to-back is never a good thing, and Good's really got to find the composure here, collect himself, as the Lions dugout's getting pretty rowdy over there.
Yeah, and guess what? It just got a little bit harder. The lineup flipped over Parker Cosby up at the dish. Fastball outside, corner called a strike. And sometimes, Drew, all it takes is one guy to start leading the charge, and then the hit party begins. This one hit sharply to the shortstop. Beautiful play. Backhand from Rivera. Over to first, but it's a low throw. And Cosby's going to take the extra base with the errant throw. That puts another runner in scoring position for the Lions. Hopefully they can execute this time.
That's a difficult throw for anybody to make, but a seasoned guy like Garcia, I mean, he fielded it cleanly. I'm not too sure what caused him to miss that throw, but just unfortunate timing as they were really needing that out to get to out number 2.
Yeah, I'll tell you who wanted it the most was Sam Gowd. After back-to-back jacks, the opportunity to get a ground ball from a dangerous hitter. He got that, and they just could not execute with the throw.
And they'll take a mound visit here, but back to what you were saying about one person getting it started. I mean, I know everybody's a different hitter, but it seems like if one guy figures him out, maybe the whole team figures him out.
Yeah, and this is now the 3rd time through the order, and when a guy has seen you a couple times, it automatically makes it that much harder. The score 2-1 after back-to-back home runs from 8 and 9 hole hitters Danny Marquez and Cade Cahoon. Looks like they're getting that bullpen going over there just behind left field.
And I'd say that's smart. If Gowd can't compose himself here, he may be seeing an early exit from this game.
Yeah, 4 really tremendous scoreless innings for Gowd. Came into this 5th inning working through the bottom of the order and you would think, common wisdom would tell you that that's where you're going to get your easy outs. But back-to-back home runs says the opposite. So 2-1 now. We're back and ready for action after the mound visit.
And I think that's what makes this line squad so dangerous is there's not a huge drop-off at the 8 and 9 spot.
No, there's not. Breaking ball in the dirt. You're exactly right. 1 through 9 can send it over the wall at any given time. Count is 1-0 to Devin Ogg. 1-0 pitch misses low and outside. And two, Drew, it's never good for a pitcher when, especially you may be struggling a little bit and you're falling behind counts.
Yeah, it makes it that much harder, and it's really a mental battle up there. All day he's kind of led, and he's been able to get him out of innings, but right now he is certainly looking for answers up there.
2-0 pitch outside, corner just misses off the plate.
And the umpire's not giving him any help doing that.
So 3 balls, no strikes. You give Devin Ogg the green light here, Drew?
On 3-0, you would say no, but with a hitter like Ogg, wow.
He's going to take the pitch that misses outside. So Ogg will reach first with the base on balls. And it makes you wonder, Bryson Lofton has seen Gowd really well, maybe just as good as anybody in this lineup today. It makes you wonder if that head coach for KCU is thinking about maybe going to the bullpen.
I think that would be a smart play. A 3-run shot would be pretty devastating here for KCU.
Obviously, you have no good matchups for a righty. It's 3 straight lefties in a row. Outside, corner just misses off the plate.
And this umpire is not a very big fan. His last 3 pitches have all been at pretty much that exact spot, and he's not giving it to him.
Yeah, he's been pretty generous all game, but those have just missed a little bit too far off. Of course, Gowd's begging for a strike at this point.
I believe that's probably 5 straight balls that he's thrown now. He'll continue with 6.
So action really rolling in the bullpen now for KCU.
We got a guy sprinting over there. Coach probably told him to get moving towards the bullpen.
So anytime you're down to Bryson Lofton 2-0, you got to think Lofton hunting the fastball here. Gowd checks on. Rollins over there. They're going to pick off, keeping him honest. Breaks up the pace a little bit for Lofton as well. Gowd comes set. The 2-0 pitch on its way. That one deep to right field. That baseball's going to need a passport. My goodness, Bryson Lofton, the 3-run bomb here in the bottom of the 5th. That's 3 for the Lions in this inning. And how about 5 runs?
Grayson, we were just discussing that a 3-run shot would be absolutely devastating here for KCU, and Bryson Lofton says, "I don't care much. I'm going to take it to right anyways."
Anytime that guy comes up, I beg the opposing coach to just put the guy on. He can't hurt you as much as he can by swinging the bat if he's just running bases.
Absolutely, he's definitely a way larger threat to do something like that than he is even to steal a base.
So 3 for 3 on the day for Bryson Lofton. Was his Drew? I'm just asking. Was his first hit a double? Lofton's?
I believe so. I believe his first one was a double, second single, and then that one was a home run.
Okay, so don't look now, but he's a triple away from the cycle.
That would be pretty impressive, as Lofton's been one of the only guys here to consistently figure Gowd out. But gave him a great boost there.
Yeah, so we saw last week a 4-home run game from Bryson Lofton. He's 3 for 3 on the day, a triple shy of the cycle. And he just gave the Lions a 5-1 lead.
And I think if you look out there, you see it on the live stream, Gallard looks really uncomposed right now. His throwing motion has become a little bit more wild, and he's not hitting that strike zone like he was earlier in the game.
Yeah, he's kind of a three-quarters guy, but it looks like that arm has just dropped down just a little bit.
If you're KCU's coach, I mean, I don't know about the decision to leave him in here after giving up the 3-run shot and walking a batter. I would definitely think about a change, as you don't want this to snowball and get even worse for KCU.
There you go, Drew. You called it. The coach will make his visit, and they'll be going to the bullpen. And, man, Sam Gallard, so good through 4 innings. And maybe just out there a little bit too long. The Lions got a hold of him their 3rd time through the lineup. And they take a 5-run lead with 1 down in the bottom of the 5th. They're going to the bullpen, and we're going to take a short break. We'll be back.
Hey, Daniel, triple away from the cycle. Yeah. Yeah, I almost did right there. JB!
He's at a 9.49 ERA. Whew. 9 appearances, 17 hits.
Your dad says it.
Oh,
Still picking up.
he said. Yeah, he said he's picking them up. I don't understand that. Really changed that.
I have no idea. We're back. New pitcher in for KCU. It's number 22, Jaden Brown. We were talking before the break, a 9.49 ERA. Bradley Prince sends this one into deep center field. Cole Thomason camps out under and catches it for out number 2.
Yeah, Grayson, 9.49, and he's appeared 9 times, 17 hits, given up 2 home runs. Not sure if I'd go to him in this situation, but looking at the numbers here for KCU, I'm not sure if they have any better options, to be honest, out of the bullpen.
Yeah, of course, KCU has struggled all year, and you can find that out by just looking at their record, 3-14 in conference. He watches that one for ball 1. Checking on the runner over there at first. Dante Morton in to run for the Lions. He's been a little bit banged up with a hamstring injury. And you see Cade Cahoon out there at second base. Of course, Dante Morton swings the bat just as good as anybody.
Yeah, and Morton, one of those guys that played a lot last year and a lot this year as well. And you mentioned being banged up, maybe trying to get his legs underneath him here, get back in the lineup.
Yeah, and they'll have an opportunity to get his legs under him literally as he's pinch running for Bass Cooper over at first. That was a big out there from relief pitcher Jaden Brown. The fly out to center field. But the lefty on righty matchup to Daniel Dryden will prove to be a challenge. The 1-1 pitch misses just high and outside for Jaden Brown.
And Brown really needs to stay ahead in the count here and not let this get any worse and get out of here out of this inning before KCU falls any further behind.
Yeah, you'll hear me a lot of times talk about teams staying within that smash factor where a grand slam can tie up the ball game, and that's exactly where KCU is right now. They're trailing by 4 through 4 2/3. 3-1 count here to Dryden. He'd like to have a big 2-out hit here, Drew.
He would. I believe he's been out on his first few, and another one, a hit here would really, really continue this deluge that we've seen in the 5th inning.
Brown comes set. The 3-1 pitch. That one apparently misses high. Looked pretty good from up here. So Dryden will reach with the base on balls. And that brings up Owen Naparowski.
And this umpire seems to have cracked down a little bit here in this 5th inning. You mentioned how generous he's been, but I mean he's not given Brown any help, and he certainly didn't give Gowden any help.
Yeah, we don't have a close view, but I saw a couple of those pitches from Moylan be called strikes, just there at the top of the zone. But nonetheless, a base on balls for Dryden brings up Naparowski with 2 runners on and 2 outs. That one inside, corner called strike.
And Brown started off well, but seems to have already kind of lost command of the strike zone.
Got a hit there against Naparowski. That'll prove to be big here in this at-bat. The 0-1 breaking ball nearly gets Naparowski. He scoots out of the way. The sky just spitting rain periodically here, Drew, just enough to aggravate you.
It's been like that all day. We've seen a drizzle every 30 minutes or so. Not enough to cancel a baseball game, but just enough to get your hair wet.
Yeah. The 1-1 fastball on the turf. Good block there from Aiden Bevan behind the dish.
If you're KCU, you've got to depend on Brown here to get you out of this kind of nightmare situation with two people on with just that easy 3rd out.
That's the thing about the lines, Drew, is you get up for a bathroom break and you come back and 5 runs are scored.
Absolutely. We were discussing on one of our breaks that I'd been to a few games so far, and the ones that I had been to had been both high scoring, and this one had kind of been dull in comparison. But you're right. If somebody had went to make dinner and came back, they definitely wouldn't have seen this coming probably.
So he got ahead 0-1, but 3 straight balls puts him behind Naparowski. Fastball gets by Naparowski. He'd like to have that one back, Drew.
That was a mean cut. He was looking to make it home run number 3 or number 4 of this inning,
yeah.
And didn't connect, unfortunately.
So the payoff pitch here will have runners going on the pitch. So a ball in the gap will probably score 2. There they go. The swing and strike 3. Big pitch there for Jaden Brown, and the Knights keeps the score 5-1. 3 home runs here in the bottom of the 5th give the Lions the 5-1 lead. We're back, and it's going to be 2-3-4, heart of the lineup for the Knights of KCU. Moylan remains in the bump after a long rest there in the bottom of the fifth, but I'm sure he's not complaining too much.
Absolutely not. Rest that arm, get ready to go. He's looking to put the heart of the lineup out here. That
Big swing there from Garcia. It's back to the warning track, and that's where we'll stop, and Prince will make the catch out there for out number one.
If you're KCU, there's a lot of baseball to be played, but you got to think that you at least want to chip away at least one or two of those runs here in this sixth inning.
Yeah, I would agree with you. If you can scratch another run or two across in these middle innings, then that'll be big for them.
And,
Jan Rivera at the dish. That one misses low.
And Rivera's had a great defensive outing so far, but maybe not a whole lot to show at the plate. And he'll miss there.
Big swing from Rivera. Nothing to show for it, though. Yeah, and he came into this game just hitting under 400 on the year. So he's been a big piece of their offense all season long. And probably why he's hitting in that three-hole spot.
Absolutely. And you can't comment on Rivera without commenting on 11 stolen bases. Leads the team, and we saw him earlier get hit out.
This one over to Marquez. The quick hands over to Lofton for out number two. Good play out there from Danny Marquez. Made it look easy.
And Rivera tried to make that a fielder's choice, but unfortunately he was gunned down by the great arm of Danny Marquez.
Yeah, if he would have beat that out, been a big infield hit for KCU. Of course, he has the wheels to do it. He showed him off there going down the line. It'll be Evan Juniper at the plate with two down. Moylan working quickly so far through the top of the sixth.
Moylan looks to sit him down just the way they came in, 1, 2, 3. See if he can get out with nothing really to show for it.
Count even with a breaking ball outside corner to Juniper. 1-1 pitch. This one's lifted high into right center field. Dryden is running out of room, back against the wall, and catches it for out number three. So a loud out number three for KCU keeps the score 5-1 here in Dayton, Tennessee. So Marquez was the man who started this whole thing in the bottom of the fifth with a solo shot, and he'll lead it off for the Lions here, and that one's down the line. If it's fair, it's gone. Hooking and foul.
Not.
So a very long strike there.
Yeah.
Over the fence. It had home run distance, just a little bit foul.
I thought he was going to go 2 for 2 there. That was, man, that's a hard call to make if you're an umpire.
Yeah, and it's hard to see where that ball crosses over the fence. You know, you have the foul pole out there, but when it goes so high in the air like that, it doesn't do much good.
Yep. And on the mound, we've got Jacob Wiersma, I believe. A super high ERA. We were talking over the break that Brown might have been a one-inning guy, and he appears to be just that as well.
That one misses just off the plate. 1-1 here. Yeah, Wiersma has 9 1/3 innings under his belt. A redshirt freshman in 11.57 ERA on the season. Of course, through 9 innings, that can be deceptive.
Of course. Yeah, you have one bad inning and your ERA skyrockets,
Exactly.
and then you're done. You're damaged for the rest of the season.
It's kind of funny. You can have 6 scoreless innings out of those 9 1/3, and you give up like a 9 spot or something in one inning, and there it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Count is full to Danny Marquez.
Going back to Marquez's shot earlier, that's one he'll probably be thinking about for a while. Probably feels a little robbed.
Yeah, and he takes his hack there and strikes out. So what appeared to be a home run turned into a strikeout. And Wiersma working well. So it'll be Cade Cahoon, the 9-hole hitter for the Lions.
And Cahoon also homered his last at bat, so he'll be looking to put another one out there. Maybe this one will stay fair.
Yeah. No balls and a strike to Cade Cahoon. That one outside corner called strike.
We've been keeping the viewers updated about the weather throughout, and I believe it's calmed down a little. I don't want to jinx us, but the wind has died down, and it feels pretty good out, and the rain has kind of stayed away as well.
That's what they call the calm before the storm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when it's pouring and we're both running to the car, I'll take the blame on that one.
1-2 against Cade Cahoon. Wiersma gets the sign from Bevan. Rocks and fires. This one fouled off back behind the home dugout.
And he got just a little bit too far under that one. That could have been a shot where it was positioned.
Wiersma gets the sign, winds it up. Here's the 1-2 pitch again. Outside corner, just misses.
And the KCU dugout giving him some encouragement, but the umpire didn't agree. Definitely not.
Yeah, that's a hard one to not ring Cahoon up, I've got to be honest. Slider slides a bit too much that time. The count is all full, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Cade Cahoon.
As a pitcher in the full count, you've got 1 out, Grayson. What do you go to here? You go to your best stuff? Do you make him hit it?
Yeah, I'd probably just go fastball, but that's what he does. And this one's sent out to deep right field and against the wall. So Cahoon is going to glide in safely to second with a 1-out double. So he continues here in this game. A home run in the last inning, and here a double. So making it really tough for this pitching staff, flipping the lineup over to Parker Cosby. And this is when things got real ugly last inning.
Absolutely. Cosby led it off with the 2 solo shots. Cosby led it off with a double at the top of the order, and he'll be looking to bat that runner in at second base.
The 0 pitch from Wiersma misses outside.
Wiersma really enjoying that outside corner so far. We've seen him go to it a bunch with not a whole lot of success.
Well, that was kind of the reason I suggested throwing fastball there, is just because that slider has been so far out of the zone every time. Hitters are just just watching it go by every time. They try to back pick Cade Cahoon. One down in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lions have tallied 7 hits, 5 runs, compared to KCU's 5 hits, 1 run, and 1 error as well. KCU coach is out his way for the visit.
Maybe just a little refocus, maybe not a bullpen visit here, just reminding him to focus and what's at stake here in this pretty crucial bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and you got to think, you're 2 hitters away from getting to the man who's 3 for 3 on the day and nearly hitting 500 on the season, in Bryson Lofton. So you got to really get these. You got to go after these 2 guys. I mean, as dangerous as Cosby and Ogg are, respectively, I mean, hardly anybody in the conference is as dangerous as Bryson Lofton. So the last thing you want is to load the bases up here, and have to face Bryson Lofton.
We talked earlier, Lofton just a triple short of the cycle, but I don't think he'd mind the grand slam either.
Yeah, he'd probably prefer that, actually.
Yep.
So runner in scoring position. They count 2-0 to Parker Cosby. The 2-0 pitch. That one catches the outside corner. So he went to the breaking ball behind 2-0 there. Probably a smart move. It makes a difference when you get that breaking ball in the zone, Drew.
Absolutely, when it's not over there at the extension of the white paint.
Parker squares around for the bunt. And the throw in time to get Parker Cosby at first.
And that was a pretty excellent bunt. Cosby, not only did he advance the runner, but he almost beat that tag. That was a bang-bang play there at first.
That gives KCU 2 outs. And moves that runner up to third. And now it's a righty on lefty matchup to Devin Ogg. Good block there from Devin. That ball had a backstop written all over it.
Yeah, that potentially saves a run as the catcher gets around there.
Williams to come set. That one misses inside as well.
And we see Ogg step into the box as a lefty, but Williams has not changed his delivery. He has gone to that same spot that we've been seeing him go to ever since he got into this ball game.
They got a little shift on, with the second baseman playing in shallow right field. Breaking ball outside corner, called a strike.
I think you're right. If you're Williams, this is where it's got to stop. You can't. The guy that's gone 3 for 3 today, you can't let him get back up.
You certainly don't want him to be up with runners on base. That one misses inside.
Man, this catcher is really working for his for these balls right now.
Yeah, Aiden Bevan has proven to be pretty solid today, hasn't he?
Absolutely, he is.
3-1 pitch in the turf.
I'm pretty sure he saved a run 3 different times on that at bat, and that's huge. And man, if you're Williams, you are not. I do not envy him as Bryson Lofton will step back into the box.
Runners at the corners, and I'll go ahead and give the advice to the coach of KCU: put the guy on.
They've so far been hesitant to do that, but I mean, if he's going to get a hit every single at bat, you've got to do the intentional walk.
So runners at the corners, and looks like they're going to go after Lofton. This one laced into right field. That one in the right center gap. That's going to score 1. And they throw it home, and that's going to score 2. So Lofton, the 2-out double, 2 RBIs, and that puts the Lions up 7-1.
And my goodness, Grayson, maybe you should be coaching this KCU team because you've given them the advice 3 straight at bats now, and Lofton has made them pay for not every single time.
Hitting is just easy for this guy. One of the hardest things to do in sports. He makes it look so, so easy. You could hear the guys in the dugout just send him to third. Send him. He was looking for that triple to complete the cycle.
Absolutely, man. That's a rare accomplishment you don't get to see, and especially at the NAI level. I think if we had seen that, that would have been truly, truly special. And I think we're going to get, and yeah, we definitely are going to get a pitch change here.
Yeah, so another pitcher coming in from the bullpen, and that'll send us to a short break. We'll be back. We're back, and of course, Bryson Lofton in scoring position. If he's not rounding the bags, he finds himself there quite a bit.
Absolutely.
And Bass Cooper at the plate for the Lions.
And I know putting Cooper on with bases loaded wouldn't have been the ideal situation, but I don't think you want to give up a 2-run double either.
Here's the thing, though. You load the bases up, that puts an out at any place, any of the bags at home plate. And then, I know, again, Bass Cooper's not the ideal situation, but with the way that Bobo Lofton's been swinging it, anybody's better than him.
Absolutely.
1-0 pitch. Cooper sends this one down the line, but it's drifting foul.
And maybe a good thing that one got fouled. That one didn't look to have the power of one that was getting out of here, but I guess you never know with a guy like Bass Cooper.
Anytime one's lifted up in the air like that with that trajectory, makes you think he could get out of here. Count is 1-1. This one down the right field line. That one's going to get down. That one's going to score. Bryson Bobo Lofton. And Cooper's going to try for 2. And the throw not in time. So the 2-out RBI double for Bass Cooper switches spots with Bobo Lofton out there and tacks on another run. The score is now 8-1.
Man, if you're KCU, you got to get out of this inning. I mean, it has been a nightmare continuing on from the bottom of the fifth. And then now you're on your third relief pitcher. I believe that is Seth Adams, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I didn't get the word from Mr. JB, who's been up in the booth with me the past couple weekends. If he's not up here, he's usually down there, and he'll relay the sign to me. We don't have all the technology to. We have to just look and see if we can get their numbers, and we haven't gotten this guy's yet. Looks like it might be number 9.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be Seth Adams, and
yep, you're right. He appears to be one of the better relief pitchers in the staff.
Maybe they should have gone to him first, but.
2 down. Cooper at second. This one dribbled to the second baseman. And the throw is low, but Juniper hangs on the bag for out number 3. Beautiful play by the first baseman over there, ends the inning, but not before 3 runs are tacked on to the bottom of the 6th. Your score now 8-1 here at center field.
Or what are you talking about over there?
Tanner Everett on the mound for us. We're back in. Tanner Everett on the bump for the Lions now. He has been probably the best arm out of the bullpen all season long.
Absolutely. Below a 3 ERA in 19 innings so far is pretty exceptional for a relief pitcher.
Yeah, he's done an incredible job this season. 1-0 pitch catches the outside corner.
And Moylan did a terrific job. You did call it that they were going to probably look to go to the bullpen, as he was getting a little errant with his throws, but he did a terrific job all in all.
Yeah, only giving up 1 run, 5 hits through 6 innings, and he's in line to get the win here today. The 1-2 pitch from Everett, that one misses high and outside. So, of course, a 3-game set here this weekend. We have the game here tonight that you're watching right now, and then we have a doubleheader tomorrow, weather permitting, of course. And like I said, some weather coming in here tonight into the morning hours. So just keep an eye on social media or the Bryan Lions website. It's scheduled for a 12-2 start tomorrow. And that one is strike 3 there. That sits down Holub. But just keep an eye on the Bryan Lions website or on social media for any time updates. Those games may end up getting pushed back if the weather is significant enough through the night.
And a great start there for Everett to kind of establish his dominance. You want to kind of get in control early, and he definitely does by sitting down Holub there.
That brings up Noah Waltz. No, this is going to be a pinch hitter. Let's see if we can get an eye on who this is.
Cameron Marucci, I believe, number 26.
Yeah, that would be yeah, you're exactly right. Cameron Marucci. He's got a big swing.
Yeah, definitely not a slouch by any means. It looks like he plays in most games, so this is definitely a tactical move by KCU's coach.
The 1-1 pitch, shot right back up the gut for a one-out single. So the move, it appears, works there. They get rolling here in the top of the 7th.
Absolutely, and like we were talking about earlier, I mean, maybe it just takes that one guy that hasn't seen either pitcher yet, and he certainly looks to be that coming out there.
Tucker Sorensen at the dish now. A runner on first and Marucci. That fastball misses low and outside. The 1-0 offering to Sorensen. Strike 1 called.
And again, we've talked. I'm no expert there. That looked like a pitch that I might wanted to have swing on there.
Yeah, probably so. The backdoor breaking ball catches the zone and is fouled off. The cool night air coming in. A slight breeze heading out from home plate to right field.
All things considered, Grayson, we've had it pretty easy with the weather today. We've had chances all over the place of thunderstorms and big rain, but it's really just it's all around us. I can see it in every direction,
Yeah.
but none here so far.
Certainly a blessing to get this game one in. Of course, the Lions, we don't play on Sundays, so the Friday-Saturday set is common around here. And if we don't get those in, then we end up having to play on a Monday or trying to bump it up to a Thursday. Of course, we didn't bump it up to Thursday, so if tomorrow ends up getting rained out, then the next time we'll be here will probably be Monday. The count is full here to Sorensen. Everett with the full count pitch. That one over to first, gets by Cooper at first. And the Knights are working bag to bag here with a one-out single from Sorensen.
That was a big single. Definitely making sure that Marucci is not just a lone wolf out there. Not only advances the runner, but gets himself on base. And now let's see if KCU can kind of keep the juices flowing, and Justin Legg will step into the box and try to do just that.
With 2 runners on, he has a good opportunity to try to scratch some runs across the plate.
And Legg has a huge power swing. We've been seeing it all day. So if there's one guy on this roster besides Evan Juniper I'd want taking this swing, it'd be him.
The 0-1 pitch fouled off. So he finds himself behind here. No balls and a pair of strikes. The 0-2 pitch from Everett outside corner. Ring him up. Strike 3.
That was a great corner painter to kind of freeze him. I mean, he looked like he wanted to go, but I mean, he was unsure, and sure enough, the umpire gives him the called strike 3.
Makes you think he might have been expecting a breaking pitch there.
Absolutely.
Just kind of snuck the fastball by him.
Especially when you're playing with the lead there with 2 strikes, the fastball probably caught him off guard.
Breaking pitch, top of the zone, strike 1.
And here we see Bevan step back in, and Bevan's been good today on both sides of the ball. And really, if you're KCU, if it's not this inning, you're getting into desperation time, trying to knock some runs off this lead.
That one called strike 2. Bevan did not like that call. Of course, I've seen that pitch called a ball on several occasions tonight. But like anybody, umpires are humans. They do make mistakes. That one misses outside corner.
You know, there's been a lot of talk at the higher levels of maybe replacing the home plate umps with machines, but I would say here at the NAI it will always have the human error.
It's one of my favorite parts of the game. Tanner Everett, look what I found for out number 3. The innings get out of it, no damage done. The score remains 8-1. We'll be back for the bottom half of the 7th. It'll be 6, 7, 8 for the Lions. Dryden, Naparowski, and Marquez. So a 3-spot put up in the 6th, Drew. The Lions hoping to continue that here.
Absolutely, and KCU stays with the same pitcher. Probably wise. He was probably the best of all of them so far. So
yeah, of course you can't forget Sam Gowd went 4 scoreless.
Yeah,
and then just out of nowhere the Lions started pounding.
And if you look at the scoreboard, not a huge hit difference between the two. Just the Lions have converted on more of their chances, and the Lions pitching staff has done a great job to get out of some jams that they put themselves in.
Yeah, timely hitting and home runs have probably made the difference for the Lions today. This one's shot down the line. It's called fair, and Dryden will reach safely, so that'll be an infield hit for Daniel Dryden. That one was right over the bag, Drew. I was wondering if the umpire was going to make a call out there, whether it was fair or foul.
Yeah, that's a kind of leave it up to their discretion, and he didn't say much, and the third base coach did a great job of dodging the ball and letting the third baseman make a play on it.
So Naparowski at the dish for the Lions. Marquez on deck, and a speedy Daniel Dryden at first. Adams misses wide with the slider there. Count is 1-0.
And you're talking about Dredden speed. Do you think that we see maybe a stolen base chance here, or do you think the Lions play conservative?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Dryden takes off. He's a pretty aggressive base runner, so if he has the green light, I would not be surprised. Oh, and Neporowski down the left field line. That one gets out in a hurry. The 2-run shot from Neporowski gives the Lions a 10-1 lead here in the bottom of the 7th.
And the left field wall has been very kind to the Lions tonight, as they've seen at least 3 go over that way.
Yeah, and a big 2-run shot there. That gives the Lions a 9-run lead here in these later innings.
Another mound visit here for the KCU coach, and you got to think he's pretty much out of answers at this point. Maybe just playing out the stretch. A 9-run deficit in 2 innings is really hard to overcome.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And Seth Adams is one of those guys, like we talked about, that's been one of the better relief arms out of the bullpen. So you wonder if maybe you kind of limit his pitches today in case he needs to go tomorrow.
I think that's exactly what they've done. I think he's already headed to the dugout, and I think maybe the KCU coach is cutting his losses here and putting somebody else at the mound.
Yeah, I would think that you're right there. And I believe run rule will be in effect here tonight. So it's 10 runs after 7 innings. So if the Lions tack on another run here, that'll be game over for this first game of the 3-game set. We're going to take a short break with a pitch and change. We'll be back for more baseball action here in Dayton, Tennessee. Stay tuned. Danny Marquez at the plate now for the Lions, and of course he started this back in the bottom of the 5th inning. And since that solo shot, 9 other runs have been scored.
Yeah, he started the party, and maybe he can end it here with a solo shot.
He very well could. The 1-0 pitch lifted high into the air. It's deep. It's back. Thomason back to the warning track and allowed out number 1.
Marquez has really grown accustomed to hitting balls out there today. He's had a shot. He had one taken away, and that one, if it was aimed maybe at the left or right field fence, might have gotten over.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, just a deep part of the ballpark there. Cade Cahoon, who's not known for power, but has 2 home runs on the year, laces this one right at the third baseman. Good play over there by Holub for out number 2.
Now coming back to the top of the lineup, maybe the Lions push here and try to get the run rule like you were talking about. Get out of here. You've got 2 more games this weekend, and as fresh as you can be for those 2, you definitely don't want to drop one to what appears to be a superiorly inferior KCU squad.
Yeah, definitely. This is one that the Lions want to sweep this weekend, that's for sure. They've only lost 3 conference games all year. I believe it was 2 to Point, and of course they lost that series and 1 to Montreat. is what's given them that conference record. 1-0 pitch right there down Main Street for strike one.
And I don't even think we've mentioned who's on the mound right now. I believe that's going to be Eli Stowers, if I'm reading his number right. Not a guy they go to very often. Only 3 innings on the season, but maybe a guy that they're using to kind of get out of here.
Yeah, kind of using in that mop-up role just to kind of get him through this game. Play over there tried to be made over there by Holub off of his glove and into left field. So good effort, but nothing to show for it. And that brings Devin Ogg up to the plate. If you're a Lions fan, visit the Bryan Lions website today. That's bryanlions.com. You can see stats, schedules, rosters, coaches, news, recruiting, and more. Visit the bryanlions.com website today.
Grayson, I was a little bit hesitant at first with the change to just the website. I know we've talked before how much we enjoyed the app.
Oh, yeah.
But it is really a one-stop shop. You can get everything you need on one platform.
That is very true. Ball one there to Devin Ogg. Checking on Cosby over there at first. No, that's Cam Fuqua into the game. He'll be pinch running for Cosby. This one's right back near us over our heads and foul. So my roommate Camden Fuqua into the game has a pinch runner over there at first. In to run for Parker Cosby. Devin Ogg 0 for 2 on the day, but he's scored 2 runs. He's had 2 walks. Both times he's been on base, he's scored. Probably thanks to Bryson Lofton, the guy behind him. The 1-1 pitch. This one's fouled off near us as well. He's aiming at us, isn't he?
Yeah, you would think we maybe did something to him. I hope not.
I'd like to see him hit one like that, but the other direction.
Absolutely. With the power that he's putting on those balls that have been back here towards us, I think he could easily take it over those sponsor sons.
The count 1-2 to Ogg, 2 down. Conservative lead over there by Fuqua at first. The 1-2 pitch.
My goodness.
Big swing, and it's right back at us again for the 3rd straight time.
And there's a little kid behind us who's gotten all 3 of those baseballs. He's got all 3 of them firmly in his left hand. He's kind of becoming a collector.
Yeah, those are $7 a piece. Throw those back down to the field, brother.
Yeah, this isn't the big leagues. You don't get to keep those.
Count still 1-2 to Devin Ogg. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Ogg turns around on this one, fouls it off.
If you're Stowers, I mean, you're really not loving throwing to Ogg right now. I believe this is going to be pitch number 9 of the at bat. He's fouled off 4 pitch number 8 of the at bat. He's fouled off 4. I mean, just trying to get out of here, and Ogg is making it difficult on him.
Yeah, Ogg is not an easy out. Of course, he's 0 for 2 on the day, but he's drawn 2 walks. So you'll see him go deep into counts most of his at-bats. The 1-2 pitch on its way. This one chopped over to the second baseman. Garcia flips it over to Juniper for out number 3. So they keep the run rule from happening. The score is 10-1 heading into the top of the 8th. We'll be back for more baseball. back for the top of the 8th. Thomason lifts this one high into the Dayton night sky. Lofton right on top of the third base bag, catches it for out number 1.
With you referencing that sky, Grayson, I don't know if there's any, I mean, I'm not a baseball guy, but I don't know if there's any prettier scene than what we're looking at right here. Is a nicely manicured field with lights on. This is a gorgeous scene for me.
It's like the old scene in Field of Dreams, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Line's up 10-1 here in the top of the 8th. They've gone 5-3-2 the last 3 innings. And they only gave up that one spot in the top of the 3rd. Like you mentioned earlier, I think it was the last inning, KCU's not short of any hits. They've had 7 hits, but it's scratched across 1 run. So timely hitting not been the narrative for them today.
Yeah, they've come up with a hit, and I believe every inning but one, and it's just been they just can't put it together and convert them, and that's been the difference. The Lions have converted obviously solo shots, and they've driven in runs with doubles and all, but KCU really not too far off from maybe making this a game.
The 3-0 pitch, outside corner, strike 1 for Tanner Everett. Working with some pace now, gets a sign from Cosby, the 3-1 pitch. Thomason swings at this one, fouls it off right next to us.
And we must have done something to these batters on each team. These last few have been right at us. That one was just right of us, and the last one was just over our heads.
Count off full to Thomason. 1 down to the top of the 8th. The pitch from Everett on its way. They ring him up. Strike 3, outside corner. Thank you, Parker Cosby, for selling strike 3 there.
Yeah, that was.
I think you almost put ball 4 on the scoreboard, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. That was about as close as I've seen. And the KCU batter was already ready to run to first base, and the ump says, "Not so fast. You're going the other way."
This one's fouled off.
And this really is the 11th hour for KCU. If you can't get anything here, I mean, it gets more unlikely with every passing inning. And
This one over the head of Cahoon. So a 2-out single there. I was referencing Thomason, but that was Christian Garcia. That got rang up there. That brings up Mr. Evan Juniper, the first baseman in today's game, and the power swinging lefty hitter.
And yeah, we've talked a little bit about him, and it hasn't played a huge impact here for the KCU squad like I think me and you thought he would.
That one misses low and outside.
And you know but that does come with being a power hitter. There's going to be games where you probably go 0 for 4, and the next game you go 2 for 4 with 2 home runs.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. You get it. Count even 1-1.
In the majors, I'm a big fan of the Chicago Cubs, and I mean I know we've traded everybody now, but
They have Dansby Swanson now.
Yeah, that's true. But it felt like on that championship team that just about everybody was a swing for the fences hitter. So
Yeah.
it's become more popular as time goes on.
Yeah, you've got the home run breaking Aaron Judge, who broke Roger Maris's record of 61 home runs in 1 year. Yeah, power swinging hitters are definitely becoming more common here in today's game. That one lifted out into shallow left field. Prince catches it for the 3rd out. The score remains 10-1 as we head into the bottom of the 8th. Base is empty for Bryson Lofton, but one swing of the bat could end the game. And I guarantee you that's in the back of his mind.
Absolutely. And maybe the cycle? Could you say that? Maybe a little bit too late for that, but never say never.
Look where the right fielder's playing, Drew.
Yeah.
On the warning track.
Yep.
That one called strike one on the outside corner. Which I've never been a real fan of that. I mean, because you can only go so far back and you're going to run into a fence.
Absolutely.
So.
I get having less ground to cover being back there, but if it goes over, I'm not sure there's much point.
Exactly. Count is 2-1. Anytime Lofton is in a hitter's count, better keep your eyes open. Two balls and a strike. Here's the pitch, rolled over. And it's in no man's land. And Lofton reaches the infield single. And the guy's begging for an out, and he still can't find a way to get out. Wow.
That's just kind of evident of KCU's day there. 3 guys in the area, and just nobody can get him out. So I just props to him for probably getting through this game without recording an out, though. He's
5 for 5, 2 runs and 5 RBIs on the day. Can't talk enough about Mr. Bryson Bobo Lofton. Of course, there was an award ceremony last night at that Student Life hosted here at Bryan College, and he was awarded with the most exciting male athlete on campus. And, of course, if you've not been out to many baseball games, you're probably like, oh, my goodness, exciting baseball player. But then when you come and watch this guy play, he's the real deal.
And that's a big honor because he was going against some basketball players and some other faster-paced sports, and he's proven tonight why he probably deserves that award. And speaking of that award show, I heard that you might have had a performance in there.
I did have a performance. We'll save that for another time. Runner on first and Bryson Lofton. And Bass Cooper would like to join the party a little bit. He had a double earlier in today's game. But that's all. He's 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI and a walk. Count even at 1. The pitch, that one misses low.
And I know the game has not exactly gone KCU's way, but a big bright spot for me, at least, we're sitting closest to him, is Aiden Bevan. Man, he's blocked at least 95% of the balls that have come his way.
Yeah, he's done a tremendous job behind the plate. You're exactly right. The 2-1 pitch, that one misses high and outside. So pitcher a little erratic here.
But I think if you're Sowers, who's on the mound, maybe you look at this as an opportunity to kind of prove that you're still useful even under these circumstances. This is a real no pressure situation. Maybe earn some more innings as you get down the stretch in the schedule.
That one misses outside as well, so another base on balls for Bass Cooper. That'll be his second walk of the day. And there's going to be a pinch hitter in for the Lions. It's number 9, Kiko Garcia, the man of many talents. He's a tremendous baseball player, and as we figured out last night, he's also a player of 7 instruments.
Yeah.
This guy can do it all.
He definitely can. And we were talking a little bit about him earlier, about how, he's in and out of the lineup, and good to see him get his chance here and see what he can do with it.
I wouldn't be surprised if this baseball finds the pond behind left field. Of course, that pitch right down Main Street for strike 1.
I don't think the pitcher's going to get away with throwing too many more of those without Garcia at least putting a try on it.
No ball and a strike. 2 runners on. And that one gets away from Bevan. So both runners move up. And Lofton 90 feet away from catching game 1 of this 3-game set.
And Bevan might have saved a hit by pitch there. It looks like he kind of put his glove in front of Garcia's helmet to avoid that, but the runners advance nonetheless.
Well, I imagine it probably would have gotten by Garcia's head. But, I mean, one pitch gets away from Bevan, out of all the stuff that he's done today, it's hard to cast too much blame on him today, especially for his performance behind the plate. And there you have it again.
He just if that gets past him, that's a potential steal of home. So not sure there's much more we can say about him. Maybe it's signal to the rest of his KCU teammates to pick it up a little.
The 2-1 pitch. Big swing from Garcia. Fouls it off back behind Bevan. The count even 2-2. Infield in here. And that's because this next run will be the end of the game. So it'll have to get through the infield for Lofton to score. The 2-2 pitch. Lifted into deep center field. That should be deep enough for Lofton to score. And he is going to move up. The sac fly ends the game. And the Lions take game 1 of this 3-game series this weekend. They win the first one 11-1. Drew, thoughts on today's game?
Dominant performance from the Lions. Took care of business. Looked a little shaky early on, but besides that, a great game from your staple guys. You get some bottom of the rotation help from guys like Marquez, and I can't remember his name. Sorry, just
Cade Cahoon.
Excuse me. And overall, nothing. If I was the Lions, I would be nothing but pleased with this result.
Absolutely. Yeah, an 11-1 victory. They'll be certainly pleased with that. Of course, another good outing for Tanner Moylan. He goes 6 innings, gives up 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Tanner Everett comes in, throws 2 innings, gives up 3 hits, and strikes out 3. So you think about that, only 4 total strikeouts for KCU out of their total 24 outs. So, I mean, they're putting the ball in play all day long. They just could not find anything through, and they just couldn't. I mean, they just didn't have timely hitting.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the narrative for them,
and
I
think that speaks to what we see in the stat sheet. Bryan's got more home runs and more RBIs, and they showed why tonight. KCU just couldn't really match up to the power hitters and guys that drove in runs from Bryan.
Yeah, Aiden Bevan was the story for Kentucky Christian, 2 for 3 on the day with 1 run, and a tremendous job behind the dish as well. For the Lions, it's none other than a couple of the pitchers that I mentioned, but also Bryson Bobo Lofton, 5 for 5 on the day, 5 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Cade Cahoon as well, 3 for 4 on the day with an RBI and 2 runs. And then just down the list, there was only 2 guys in the lineup that did not get a hit today. So 11 hits or 13 hits, scores 11 runs for the Lions today. Any final thoughts, Drew, before we head out?
I don't have any. Great win for the Lions, and I really enjoyed being up here with you. Hope to be back soon.
Yeah, absolutely. A pleasure to have you, Mr. Drew Rogers. It's his first time up here, so show him a little love. And thank you for watching this exclusive presentation of Bryan College Baseball. They win this one against the AAC foe, Kentucky Christian, 11-1. We'll see you tomorrow. Again, stay in tune with social media or the Bryan Lions website for any time updates, because it's going to be, like I said, some rain coming in through the night. So just, again, stay tuned for that, and because there may be some time changes. But other than that, the Lions win this one 11-1. For Drew Rogers and Grayson Whaley, thank you for tuning in. God bless, and have a good night.